I've been carrying this around for years, and I just need to get it out. This is going to be long, so bear with me. I've never told this story in full to anyone, not even my therapist, because it's so raw it feels like ripping open a wound every time I think about it. But I'm 27 now, and I think I'm finally ready to unpack it. Maybe someone out there will get it. Maybe it'll help me let go. I don't know. Here's what happened when I was 16, and my life got turned upside down. I grew up in a small town in Ohio, one of those places where everyone knows your business, and the biggest event of the year is the county fair. My mom died when I was 9. Cancer, quick and brutal. It was just me and my dad after that, and he tried his best, but he was a mess. He worked long hours as a mechanic, drank too much on weekends, and wasn't exactly winning any emotionally available parent awards. Still, we were okay. We had our little routines: pizza on Fridays, watching old action movies on the couch, him teaching me how to change a tire when I was 12. It wasn't perfect, but it was home. Then, when I was 14, he met Cheryl. She was a waitress at the diner he went to every morning for coffee. Cheryl was loud, brash, always wore too much perfume, and had this laugh that sounded like a hyena getting tickled. At first I thought she was fine. She'd bring me free fries when I stopped by the diner, and she'd tell these wild stories about her life, how she'd run away from home at 17, bounced around sketchy jobs, lived in her car for a while. She had this tough survivor vibe, and my dad ate it up. He said she was real. I didn't know what that meant, but I was a kid, so I just shrugged and went along with it. They got married when I was 15. That's when things started going downhill. Cheryl moved into our house, and it was like she decided I was a problem she needed to solve. She'd nitpick everything: how I left dishes in the sink, how I didn't fold my clothes right, how I was too quiet, and probably up to something. My dad, who was never great at standing up to people, just let her take over. He'd give me this tired look like, "Just do what she says, kid." I tried to keep the peace, but it was like walking on eggshells. She'd scream at me for the smallest things, like forgetting to take out the trash, and then act all sweet to my dad when he got home. It was maddening. By the time I was 16, I hated her. I'm not proud of it, but I'd mouth off sometimes, call her out on her hypocrisy. Like she'd lecture me about responsibility while she was blowing her paycheck on lottery tickets and those tacky acrylic nails. I wasn't an angel, but I was a kid, you know? I was dealing with a lot. School, missing my mom, feeling like my dad was slipping away. Cheryl didn't care. To her, I was just in the way. The summer I turned 16, everything imploded. My dad got laid off from the garage, and money got tight. Cheryl was working double shifts at the diner, and she was pissed all the time. I was working part-time at a gas station trying to help out, but it was never enough for her. One night, we got into it bad. I don't even remember what started it. Probably something stupid like me leaving my shoes in the living room. She started screaming, calling me ungrateful, lazy, a leech. I snapped back, told her she was the leech, living in our house, spending my dad's money. Big mistake. Her face went red, and she just stared at me, like she was plotting something. The next day, she told me we were going on a drive. My dad was out of town, visiting his brother to ask for a loan, so it was just me and her. I didn't want to go, but she said it was to clear the air. I was dumb enough to believe her. She drove us out of town, about an hour away, to this rundown motel off the highway, the kind of place you see in crime documentaries, with flickering neon signs and sketchy guys smoking in the parking lot. I was confused, but she told me to grab my backpack and get out. I thought maybe we were meeting someone or something. Then she got out, went to the trunk, and pulled out a black trash bag. She threw it at me, literally chucked it at my feet, and said, "Here's your stuff. Survive like I did." I was like, what the hell? I thought she was joking, but her face was stone cold. She said she was done babysitting me, that I was old enough to figure it out, just like she had at my age. I started yelling, asking what she was talking about, where I was supposed to go. She just got back in the car and said, "You're not my kid. I'm not your mom. Good luck." Then she peeled out of the parking lot, leaving me standing there with a trash bag and my backpack in the middle of nowhere. I was in shock, like my brain couldn't process it. I stood there for probably 20 minutes, just staring at the road, thinking she'd come back. She didn't. I opened the trash bag, and it was pathetic. Some clothes, a pair of sneakers, my toothbrush, a couple of granola bars, and $20 in crumpled bills. That was it. My whole life stuffed in a garbage bag. I didn't even have my phone charger. I went into the motel office, and the guy at the desk looked like he'd seen this kind of thing before. He said a room was $40 a night, and I just laughed, like, what am I supposed to do with $20? He shrugged and went back to his cigarette. I sat outside on the curb, trying to figure out what to do. I was scared, angry, humiliated. I kept thinking about my dad, wondering if he knew, if he'd approve this. That hurt worse than anything. I ended up walking to a gas station nearby and used their phone to call my best friend, Jake. His mom answered, and I just broke down, told her everything. She drove out to get me that night, no questions asked. I stayed at their place for a couple of days while we tried to reach my dad. Turns out, he had no idea what Cheryl had done. When he got back and found out, he was furious, but also weirdly defeated, like he didn't have the energy to fight her. He apologized, said he'd talk to her, but I could tell things were broken. I didn't go back home after that. Jake's mom let me stay with them, and I got a second job bagging groceries to save up money. I crashed on their couch for the rest of high school, got my diploma, and moved out at 18 to a tiny apartment with a roommate I found online. My dad and I barely talked after that. He stayed with Cheryl, and I couldn't forgive him for it. Last I heard, they're still together, scraping by. I don't know if she ever felt bad about what she did. I doubt it. That moment at the motel changed me. I learned real quick that you can't rely on people, even the ones who are supposed to have your back. I'm doing okay now. Got a decent job as a warehouse supervisor, a small place of my own, even a dog named Rusty who's better company than most humans. But I still have nightmares about that trash bag hitting the ground, her words echoing in my head. Survive like I did. Like it was some kind of twisted life lesson. I don't know why I'm posting this now. Maybe I just needed to say it out loud to make it real. If anyone's been through something like this, how do you let it go? How do you stop hating the people who hurt you? I don't want to carry this anger forever, but it's hard to shake. Thanks for reading, I guess. TLDR. When I was 16, my stepmom drove me to a sketchy motel, threw a trash bag with my stuff at me, and told me to survive like I did. I've been on my own since, and I'm still trying to process it years later.